Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your.
Welcome back to Bitch Call Your Sponsor. I'm Misty.
And I'm Sam.
And that's Sam. And it's perfect that it took you a minute because my topic is Pause When Agitated, which we will get to after. Our primary purpose is for Misty and Sam to grow their friendship and maybe help others. Okay, so the topic I brought is pause when agitated. And I have to say that I've read that sentence or those 3 words in our literature for a very long time. And I was about 20 years sober. No, maybe 26, 28 years sober when I was about to call someone I was dating and scream at them for saying they had not done something and found out they did. And that phrase popped in my head and I was like, oh, this is what they mean? Oh my God, I can pause before I pick up that phone and scream at them? It was the first time I'd ever applied pause when agitated, and it felt like a revolution.
Thank you so much for bringing this topic. And I am totally identifying with this. It's experiential, right? It's going through it. I'm a sucker, you know me, sucker for roles and pamphlets and slogans. And, it's like learning a language. And I had this cheat sheet in my phone that has all of these slogans, fear, fuck everything and run, false evidence appearing real, forgetting everything's all right, all the whatever those things are. And so I went to go check and I'm like, I wonder if there's one for pause. There isn't one for pause that I have in here. But of course I had to Google, right? And it says pause, please assist until serenity enters.
Oh, wow. That's so good. That is so good. Please assist until
serenity
enters. Oh, I'm going to change it.
Okay, go.
I'm going to mystify it.
Yes, please. We love a mystify.
So please assist until space enters.
Oh.
Yeah, something about serenity just made me feel like I have to get good. And that could be my own filter, but when I hear that, I feel like I have to get good. I have to get spiritual. I have to get to that higher level. And the pause is when I can't get to that higher level.
Please assist until space enters. This is gonna be, yeah.
We might be brilliant, Sam.
We might be. I think you might be. You and the train and the hula hoop and the tumbler.
You and Googled, okay?
And then the within me. I pass that on, and it literally has been lighting up my days, wherever there is discord within me, let me bring harmony, within me. So pause. So I don't have a good relationship with a pause.
Oh my God, that's why I love you.
Because I am, I guess, what's known as in the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and there's no pause in that place. And when something gets triggered or pulled or thing, and I snap, temporary insanity or whatever you want to call it, there's no pause in sight, and I think I shared my the movie theater story. Yeah. And there hasn't been anything like that that I'm remembering right now. But it's a snap, it's reactive, and that is one of the things that I'm like, I'm effing human. That's kind of what happens, over time. I think it shifts, but I can, there are those, like, that, like, just like the strange mental blank spots. There are those strange spots when all things align and I will fly off the handle still.
Right. I'm going to read this thing I looked up about it, which says, when we are feeling strong emotions such as anger, frustration, or anxiety, it is important to take a step back and pause before reacting. And that's why they say, like, I think in Al Anon, you should respond rather than react.
Mm.
This simple act of pausing can help us to avoid saying or doing something we later regret. And then after I read that, my brain told me, yeah, but I can't do it. And it's the same thing you said. Like, it's the freeze, fight, fawn thing. Like my
Yep.
something brain.
Mammalian mammal. It's like a mammal.
Okay, yeah. The
Amygdala? You
reptilian.
mean amygdala? Oh, the reptilian.
Amygdala. Yeah. That part of the brain takes over. And what I tell myself when I was trying to examine this stuff is, I don't even have a choice. That takes over and I don't have a choice. And what my therapist has told me in the past is, stop saying that. You do have a choice. Like, it's an old idea. It's a crutch. It's a victim that, like, I don't have a choice. When with prayer and meditation, that's how the pause becomes the reflex instead of the reaction.
So I do believe that meditation has helped me become less reactive most of the time. And there are still those times, like the theater, that have found myself not in being able to pause.
It feels good. I heard no, the adrenaline of not pausing.
Oh, yeah. I was like, to pause? Yeah, the
No, that's
adrenaline. Give me
definitely.
adrenaline.
Yeah, and that's what this woman who spoke yesterday said, that she never prepares anything before she speaks. She goes, because adrenaline is the only drug I have left, okay? I thought that was hilarious. And I was like, yeah, same. And that's why the beauty of being this long sober and meditating and practicing the principles in all of our affairs is that now when I don't pause, I am aware. There's an observer watching me going, you could stop. And sometimes I go, okay, I'll stop. Okay. And sometimes I go, I am not stopping. I am doubling down, and we are taking this adrenaline rush all the way in New York, baby.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. The watching myself. I've had those things where I'm like, what the right thing, what is the next right action?
In the moment.
I know, and not today.
Oh my God, my favorite.
Gosh, I know. I know that. Yeah, I've been there.
Well, I also heard something this week that made me so sad about someone who I believe to be a dry drunk, and they're not pause and amygdala, blah, blah, reptilian brain goes from 0 to 100, and they got in a physical fight. Like, over 50 years old, just because somebody looked at them wrong, right? Like, I don't want what they have. And the pause means that my ego isn't, oh, this is a good one. I heard somebody say, like, it's like walking a dog that's not trained. And that's my ego. And like, if it's just pulling me down the street, going wherever it wants, and it won't, heal or sit, or I'm not leading the show, my ego's running it, there's no pause. It's going to bite, it's going to attack, it's going to pee on everything.
You know what is coming to me is your tool of the thank you.
Good one.
That's actually the pause, which I tried playing around with for one day, and then I forgot that I was trying to play around with it because I got distracted.
See why they need to wear ticker tapes. Everybody else needs to have a ticker tape on their forehead. I agree. Yeah. I forgot about it too.
Yeah. And so but it's that, for me, that can be a revolutionary tool if I practice more, in the sense that for me, that's the divine connection, it's like I'm connected elsewhere, and I'm not just surviving on what I'm perceiving the world is doing to me.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because if in that fight, flight, reptilian brain moment, I can say, thank you. I've just said, even though this situation is uncomfortable or not what I want, I know it experiences me. It benefits me on some level. And I don't care if it doesn't feel good right now. Thank you for it showing up.
And whenever I think about this, I think it's in 10 and 12 and 12, right? Pause when agitated or doubtful, we pause. And it also goes into emotional hangovers, right? That even in sobriety, I can have an emotional hangover based on some of my cray-cray from the day before, where I like to call those like emotional temporary insanity is what I call that, where I temporarily go insane and I'm reactive, and similar like to this, 50-year-old that's getting into a fist fight. It's that the old way of dealing with things. And it's when there's that flush of adrenaline, there's flush of something. I'm possessed.
And I'm so glad you mentioned the emotional hangover, because it reminded me of my process. And this has been in the years past, and maybe I have time to make it different now, but maybe not, where as my friend Christy would say, I have to get it off of me and onto them, right? So I'd blow up and my brain would go through the judge and the jury and the lawyer and everything about why they were all wrong, and I was exactly right the way my blow up went. And that would go on for however long as the sobriety was. Like early in sobriety, that was days or weeks or whatever. And the time would get shorter. But then the next phase is, I don't feel good, and I feel like they're upset with me. And then the next phase is, I may have been wrong. And then the next phase is, how does anyone ever love me?
Wow, that's really deep, because I know for me, the journey inward is not always easy, and when I think of 10, I think of, it's 4 through 9 rolled up, right? And, in 4, there's a part where it says like these, I'm hiding these same defects underneath within me. And a lot of my journey has been focused on the other person, and like, well, I wouldn't drink if this didn't happen, or, I'd have all those excuses, which for me now is just the noise, and then your journey that you just pointed out inward is like, that is ultimately to thy own self be true. That's the, leading a self-examined life, of like, oh, there's stuff underneath the stuff.
Yes, I just had a revelation, and I cannot stop getting out of this top of the heap, bottom of the heap stuff. Like, I just see so many parallels everywhere I go. And what I just realized is I do the don't go internal, it's them. And then my process comes to internal, it's not them, it's me. Whereas the other way is it's me, not them, but their process later is it's them, they're an asshole. So we switch places of blame, or like the initial reaction is either to blame others, or some people's initial reaction is to blame themselves.
Ooh, that's
and
good.
Then we switch.
Yes, because that's what it says in 4, right? Above or below, the overly depressive, or the one that has, like, it's everyone else's problem. Everyone else needs to do an inventory, not me.
Yep. And I identified real quickly which one I was. I was like, I am the one that it's all of them. And like I said, I'm getting so much evidence of that as I drive in traffic, and I'm so mad at these people that are going slow or don't know where they're going, or I know where I'm going, get out of my way. And when I could apply, that's me in the car ahead of me. Let me show me love, because that is what is going on. I'm treating others like internally I'm treating myself.
Call your sponsor.
Call
Call your sponsor.
Call
Your
sponsor.
Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor.